You want to change the direction? You want to change the direction?
You know what? I ain't gonna worry about it right now.
We ain't gonna worry about it.
I ain't worrying about it.
Because it's like most things in life. It's just
we
really
here,
not
y'all.
That,
we
really,
here.
It's really not that big.
I had a really hard time at work this week too.
Look, we be putting in the work. We grinding like
we
bad
grinding
breaks.
right now. Let me just tell y'all, we're both working on promotions. We pray that you are promoted.
Yes.
That you are recognized among those who are believers and unbelievers, those who look like us and those who don't look like us.
Put it out there.
We pray for that on you today, because when you think about that and you release and you live your life in goodness and grace and just giving to others. Ooh.
Yes.
You receive. So right now, Heath and I are in a state of receiving.
Yes.
So we're leaning into it, as most people would say. So we're really busy during the week working on our 9 to 5.
Lifting as we climb.
I think Heath worked probably about 60 hours this week, guys. So
like, it's fine, babe. It's fine.
Hang in there, baby. It's gonna be over soon.
It's all good. Oh man. All right. Who else we got? Miss Batcha, what's happening?
What's up, Miss Batcha? Let's see. Charmaine's here. Good morning, Charmaine. Happy Saturday.
What's up, Charmaine?
You inspired today's talk.
Look, Charmaine is the inspiration for today's Greenbelt conversation.
That's
so shout out to Charmaine. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, on Monday, I'm so excited.
Charmaine gonna be our DMV neighbor.
I'm so excited. Oh, is the volume low? How's that?
Is the volume low?
Give me a 1. Yes, it's for me. I just thought it was okay. Is that better, guys? How's that? Is that better? Oh, don't tell me that. I just spent a bunch of money on this thing.
It's all good, baby.
Is that better, guys? Give me a 1 if that's better.
Is the volume
better now?
Can you hear me?
Better.
Okay, cool.
Okay, it's really loud in my ear.
It is. Should we turn us down over here?
Turn us down.
Okay,
so Cher, she said yes. Okay, I know what it was.
Okay,
I've got this newfangled thing.
We got a new board.
And it's taking me a minute.
It's taking a minute.
But Heath loves the buttons, and they're on his side. There's nothing I can do about that.
We got buttons, y'all.
Oh, my gosh. Let's get back to what we normally say here. Okay, so we said good morning, and we let everyone say good morning to us.
We're talking about Greenbelt, Maryland today.
And we're talking about the top zip codes for purchases in the DMV.
That's right.
Because even though we're talking about moving to the DMV, we also want to talk about where people are moving in the DMV.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're going to get into it.
And
if you want a one-on-one session with Queen Tracy and I, you can see the links in the description below. So check that out if you want a little private session.
We have one right after the show, as a matter of fact.
We do? Okay.
Just to remind you so you don't scoodle off somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. And 7 home habits, design your life today, is 7 home habits scientifically proven to make you happier.
Yes. We're going to bring the happy game to y'all. So some points and tips and tricks there. So there you go. If this is your first time here, my name is Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
Tracy and I are parents, podcasters, and joyfully married after 31 years. We do have 4 adult children as well. And we are proud residents of the DMV. That's right.
We're proud, not prior.
Proud. We're proud and prior.
Yeah, we like living here. We really like living here.
Proud, prior, and current residents of the DMV. How about that?
We're back.
We are here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST.
Live.
Where we want to demystify your move. So we're glad you're here today.
If you need help relocating to this area, take a second and subscribe, because we're going to be here so you don't miss a thing.
Yes. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. No doubt. And we're glad you're here. So welcome to Design Your Life with Heath and Tracy. Boom. Can they hear you? You gotta
Okay, sorry about that.
Welcome back.
This new board, y'all.
Welcome back to Conversations with
You
Heath
heard
and
us
Tracy.
talking. You heard the music before if you've been here before.
Design Your Life with Heath and Tracy. Welcome back.
Exactly. Sorry about that. I'm going to get used to it eventually. Please stop.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Why can't I push the button?
But what was that? Why scary? What was scary?
It was so scary that we have this phenomenal show and we still figuring stuff out.
Oh, Lord, I'm
It's just scary. What you gonna do when we get it all figured out?
Help me
Ooh,
with the
Lord.
buttons, Lord.
You don't
Help me receive.
You don't like the buttons?
Help me receive the new buttons, Lord. Help me.
Receive, Tracy. What are we talking about first today?
He is unfazed, Lord. Help me. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Get involved. Get involved. GreenBelt, Maryland. It's a suburb of Washington, D.C., located in Prince George's County. That's PG for y'all that know it as PG instead of Prince George's County. There is actually a metro stop on the Green Line in proximity to 4 major highways, including the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, the Capitol Beltway, and several others.
So it was created in So think about this.
Okay.
1937.
1937.
Franklin Roosevelt created GreenBelt, Maryland, and it was called.
It was part of the new.
It was part of the New Deal.
The New Deal. Okay.
And it was modeled after European garden cities of that era, right? So it's one of 3 towns. It's a ring of woodlands around it. There's a lot of trees over there.
Who knew?
So the towns were designed to provide work for unemployed people, affordable housing.
Yep.
Kind of like what the new infrastructure plan is doing today. That's why GreenBelt was created.
Love that.
So I'm showing you some pictures right now. The primary hub of activity is called Roosevelt Center.
Okay, makes sense.
It's been newly restored, of course. The old GreenBelt Theater. They've got live music. They've got poetry.
Like that.
It's called the New Deal Cafe. So they really put the theme around Roosevelt and the New Deal.
Makes sense.
They have a GreenBelt Art Center as well as fairs and festivals throughout the year.
I love that.
It also has a co-op grocery store. It has restaurants and other businesses. There's an aquatic and fitness center.
Okay, aquatic.
That's my favorite.
Okay, aquatic center.
That's my favorite. It has a museum and a library.
Yes.
So let's get into, let's see. We like to show y'all niche. This kind of shows you where it is.
Okay.
Let me move this.
So we're looking at a map of GreenBelt.
Yeah. So you've got College Park, you've got Bethesda, and then this area. Let me move us.
Okay.
So they can see.
All right, cool. I see GreenBelt over here to the right. And I see College Park kind of southwest of GreenBelt, right? So that same general area, you can understand where it is on the map.
Yeah, and so
Beltsville.
It's number 6, y'all.
I think you should have left us over here, baby.
Okay, hold on, baby. Hold on. I had to show them GreenBelt.
It's all good. Got an A- on niche. That's good. That's a good score right there.
So if I put us right,
it's fine, baby.
I need to put us so they can see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's got a overall score of A-, y'all.
A-, okay.
So that's really good.
A- is good.
Schools, crime safety, 60. You know how I feel about the crime safety stats. So we don't get into that. Nighttime life. Look at that. Nightlife. A B+.
I like good for families as well.
Yeah. A+ for diversity.
That's good.
About 23,000 people live in GreenBelt.
Okay, that's a good number of people out there.
Right. The average median home price is $227.
Boom. Gem
and that rent
dropped.
That's super good, y'all. That's super good. They don't have a lot of housing either, so I think if you're looking for a gem, it's really good. Median rent, like we said, is always
you're gonna
in
be
this
16
area. You're going to be
25,
right?
So that's within the range, but this is sort of the lower end of the range. But I just want to double click onto that medium home value right there. That medium home value.
That's amazing.
227.
That's amazing.
In the DMV.
That's amazing.
Look, if you're looking to buy a house, you might want to check that out.
Let's see if they've got a better map here. I think this map is going to come up. There it is.
Okay.
So, remember I was telling you about Goddard Space Center over here, and then you've got all this green area here.
Yeah.
Right? Franklin Park, GreenBelt.
Like it.
It's really, really nice area.
It looks really green.
You got 95 running right through it. You so silly.
My dad joke.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
That's my dad joke for the day.
Here's some of the rankings. Most diverse places to live in Maryland, it's number 12.
Okay.
Most diverse suburbs in Maryland, number 12.
Yep.
Best suburbs for professionals, young professionals. Crime and safety. Let's get to this.
Get into it.
Now, someone asked, how do you feel about, welcome to the now. Okay. Hey, welcome to the show.
Okay,
how do you feel about crime and safety? I'm just joining. I may have missed something. So just overall, for people that don't join our show often, I am skeptical of crime and safety reporting because in the lighter persuasion neighborhoods, for the most part, they don't report. They don't report to places like that. So they keep it safe. And the people that are building these reports, places like Niche, Best Places to Live, they are of the lighter persuasion. So I think they balance it differently. When it comes to neighborhoods where people look more like us, they're going to report the worst.
Okay.
So that's what you're seeing here. It's still below the national average as far as assault.
Okay.
Robberies is above the national average, but like I said, in the DC area, that's including property theft.
Yeah, anywhere.
And it's going to be high.
Yep.
It's going to be high, right? So just keep that in mind when you're looking at stuff. That, remember the filter that we're looking through in this country for the most part.
What my man said in the movie, Will Smith said, "Be having a slant to it.
Yeah,
having a slant."
Yeah, you right, baby. Can I make this smaller? Maybe there we go.
Oh, look at that! You done made me smaller, baby.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I can't make you smaller. No. I can't. I just can't.
What is this A+ right here for residents, for the diversity?
This is for diversity.
Wow,
this is
look at that.
So right, when you look at it.
Yeah.
So they've got a little bit of everybody that lives there, which is really, really cool. That's something to keep in mind.
Love that.
Working in the area. Look, I tell you once again, guys, living in the DMV, you're going to have that higher income.
Yeah.
Definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah.
They're around 71,000. It's lower when you think about the entire area. You're used to seeing it in the hundreds, but this doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, let me double click into that just for a second. Right, and so the other thing I think that you have to understand what this data is saying that if you work in the area of Greenbelt, right, so jobs, companies that are based in that area, this is kind of what the medium household, so that impacts the overall, right? Everybody that lives in Greenbelt doesn't necessarily work in Greenbelt.
Right.
Some people work outside of it. Some people work in there. So what this is demonstrating is the overall collective median as it relates to people that live there. But certainly there are people that live in Greenbelt that work in other parts of DC that are certainly bringing a big bag.
Right. Here are the top schools, public schools. We like to pull up public schools. If you are in the market for a private school, there's tons of those in the DC area. Like I said, most of our friends that live in PG County, even Montgomery County, send their children to private school here.
But these are some good.
These are some very good public schools.
Yeah.
Places like Greenbelt, I think this is a good one to look at all the time because you want more than one option.
Sure.
So you've got Laurel, Maryland. I don't think we've done Laurel, Maryland yet.
Laurel. Is that where your cousin lives? In Laurel?
No, Lanham.
She lives in Lanham. Okay, yeah. We've been in Laurel too, of course.
Right. South Laurel. Okay. I don't know what that is. Adelphi. Did we live near? Maryland. We lived near Adelphi at one time, didn't we? When you were in Hyattsville? Is that out
I think Adelphi is a little further out.
Okay. Yeah. And then 16th Street Heights. Okay. That used to be my dream neighborhood when I lived here before.
That's in the middle of the DMV right there.
So 16th Street Heights is this other little gem.
Middle of DC.
We have friends' parents who lives in that area. I spent a lot of time in that area when I was at Howard University. A lot of my friends that went to Howard lived in 16th Street Heights.
Yep.
Great little neighborhood also. All right. Let's jump over to this information. I always think, wait. I think this information is always good.
Okay.
Let's talk about the cost of living in the area.
All right.
Okay.
Cost of living is, in the DMV typically is going to be a little bit higher than the national average.
But check this out, y'all. It's lower than Maryland.
Compared to the rest of Maryland.
It's definitely lower.
Yeah, so that's what that data point is demonstrating, that Greenbelt is a little less expensive than the rest of Maryland.
Right. Grocery, health is going to be higher than the rest of Maryland just because you're close to D.C.
But lower than the USA.
Yeah, housing is lower, though. You see that number there.
Yep.
Median cost, as you can see, Maryland is $361.
Okay, I want to double click on that housing
baby.
piece. On that housing piece right there. Y'all, look at that stat going across there. Housing costs in Greenbelt significantly lower than the United States and significantly lower than the rest of Maryland. So literally you can have housing, whether you're renting or whether you're buying, in Greenbelt, Maryland is going to be much below the rest of the area, but you're still right in the midst of the DMV. So just wanted to call that out.
And as you can see, utilities are higher. Let me tell you why utilities are different, because according to where you live here, there is who's servicing you.
Okay.
So you've got different servicers for gas and electric in the different areas. So obviously the servicer in this area in Greenbelt is a little bit higher than, let's say, the servicers throughout Maryland. So keep that in mind when you're moving to an area. That's one thing I think I've mentioned before is look up who is servicing the area. Like important things were important to us, that a major that we had internet. So we wanted to live somewhere where FiOS was enabled,
because they were the only one that we could find that had fiber.
So that was important to us.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that your gas company is one of the higher line servicers, not a lower line. Same thing with electric. I'm just really into services, especially where the infrastructure is in the country.
Right.
You really want to be aware of who your servicer is. And transportation is going to be higher simply because you're a little further out.
Right.
And then they've got miscellaneous. As we look at let's look at crime. Let's go ahead and just look at crime.
Okay, let's click into it. Get involved.
So it's showing the violent crime is 26, showing higher than U.S. average. The Greenbelt property crime is 45, which is also higher. But as you can see here, it's really in line with Maryland and what Maryland is doing.
Yep.
I don't hear it that much about Greenbelt, Maryland, as far as that's concerned. So I don't think that's a real issue.
And then you can look, if you look at the far right of that chart, you can see the trends are also down.
It's all going down.
All the trends are down.
Sales tax for Greenbelt is 6%. The average is 7, so that's lower.
Yep.
And you can see here income by population. So as you can see, you're still going to be in the higher end of income if you live in Greenbelt, right?
Yep.
It's still going to be in the hundreds, so such and so forth. Let's look at politics and voting. That's been a lot conversation here in the area recently.
Yeah, we had a recent election.
It's still heavy liberal. Don't be construed by what you've seen in the Virginia elections and what they're talking about in the suburbs. All of those areas they talked about still are heavy Democratic.
Yep.
And that's just so you know. Somebody's ringing the doorbell. Commute times. You wanna grab that or not?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay, so just unplug from here.
That's the way? Okay.
1 second. And let's see. Oh, I was getting into Commute. I think Commute is really important. 68% of people drive their own car. Carpooling is really popular here, so keep that in mind, that carpooling is really popular. 4.6% work from home, okay? And 15% take mass transit. Okay. Okay. So as you can see here, most people are driving 30 to 34 minutes. As you notice, that 95 was going right through it. So you can get access to the highway, and it doesn't take a lot to get to D.C. from that area. So it's a really good commute. Let's look at housing. So as you can see, you do have older properties in Greenbelt. You have some townhome here. Look at a 3-bedroom. For $187, that's crazy. They do have a lot of condos in the area. This is another 3-bedroom for $225. Wow! Look at this cute little townhouse, $247.
Yes.
$345. Y'all, these are cute. Oh, I love this one. 3.2. This is really good. As you can see, they're all under contract.
Yep.
So it's something, if you decide to move out that way, you probably have to make a quick decision. They have a lot of condos. I didn't realize they had so many condos. And
and I was reading an article this week, just nationally in general, right? The time on market of properties in general is just really expediting, right? It's going faster and faster. And so you want to do your research on the front end, take advantage of the kind of communication information that Trace and I are giving you today. So regardless of where you are in the country, if you're in the DMV or what have you, if you are going to purchase something, you have to make sure that you do it quickly.
Yeah, that is still a thing here.
It's like a week on market now. It's like the national average, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a newer property here, as you can see. It looks like it's going to be higher, more like living in D.C. Same thing here with the newer properties. Yeah. Just depending on what you're looking for.
Makes
I don't see any homes, though. I just see apartments.
A lot of apartments.
Yeah, I don't see any homes there, so that's something to keep in mind.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, because you mentioned earlier that there are not a ton of of properties. I guess both single family townhomes. There's not like a ton in Greenbelt, so that makes sense that you wouldn't see a lot that were for rent.
Right.
Right. So everything for rent is like apartments or condos or something.
Right. Good morning, Crop 919.
What's going on, Crop?
How are you?
My guy, what's going on? Good to see you, man.
Welcome to the show. Logan, good morning, Logan.
What's up, Logan?
Welcome to the show. And welcome to the now. Thank you. I hope we answered your question. Yes. Okay, right. So just keep that in mind. So you lived, you remember going to Greenbelt Mall as a kid, and it's nostalgic. Yeah, Greenbelt is pretty cool. It's just one of those places that's kind of hidden and just not really talked about much. It looks like it's a great place to live.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely think about Greenbelt if you're on the lower end as far as what you want to spend.
Yes.
It looks like it's a really good place. Some good news for Northern Virginia.
Wait, before we get into that.
What?
I need to get some people their flowers.
Oh, okay.
Y'all want some flowers?
All right. We still have flowers in the yard, believe it or not, guys. There's one right behind us right here.
That's magnolia clip this morning.
Yeah, I'm going to decorate the house this Christmas. Oh, I am going to decorate this room. I'm not finished decorating this room either.
Yeah, we can put some curtains in, right?
Yeah, I've got something I'm going to put here in the wall I'm working on. Okay. It's kind of an art piece by me. So you'll see that. And
Queen Tracy, the creative.
I'm really getting into my creative side. It's been pretty good.
Look.
So it's going to start coming out a little bit.
Look, we're just trying to share with the people. Bring some love and beauty and creativity to the game.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get your flower. You ready?
Go ahead. Hit my music. Flowers for your people.
Flowers for your people. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have left in the yard right now, with the exception of the magnolias. I need to pop some of them. We're gonna decorate the house for Christmas.
There's all kinds of stuff in the yard. That's just what I clipped.
Okay, so I need to go out there with you.
I'm just bringing the beauty to the family. Just bringing some vibrancy, some color.
Thank you, Charmaine.
Charmaine always compliments me on my flowers.
Yes, she does.
I bring flowers to the group every week. So for those of you that are new to the show, those are hand cut and arranged by your man Heath.
Every weekend, and then I get to enjoy them throughout the week.
Every Saturday morning, right?
Yep. And sometimes he clips enough for the whole house. My daughter's room.
I do.
My mom's area.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't get to do that today. So, if you like what you're hearing, please hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Yes.
That really gets the algorithm to notice us, share it out, and everything. So make sure you hit that.
Appreciate y'all hitting that like button.
So, want to talk about this.
Miss Batcher said.
Oh, thank you, Miss Batcher. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Flowers
for you.
Some good news for Northern Virginia. Amazon chooses Virginia for East Coast third-party supply chain. So if you don't know what that means, I'm going to put a map up so you know where it is.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people don't know about some of the areas we're talking about.
All right. Break it down.
Yeah. So Northern Virginia is considered as far south as this area down here.
Stafford County. Okay.
And we go down there. Well, we've gone down there. That's our closest Publix.
Yeah. So we were fiending for Publix, trying to get some things that we used to buy frequently in North Carolina. When we were in Atlanta, we were like, yo, where's the Publix? And so we did the homework, and that was the closest one to us.
Yeah.
So we were like, yo, we got to go get some of that chicken. We got to get some things that we only get from Publix. And so we made a little road trip down there a couple of times. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So Amazon, which already operates 20 distribution, sourcing, and delivery centers throughout Virginia, 20 y'all, has committed to building a cross-dock fulfillment center in Stafford. So this one's going to be a little bit larger than the normal one, 630,000 square feet.
630,000 square feet is a big building.
Yeah, so it's going to be like one of the largest East Coast hubs. It's going to manage the beginning of the supply chain for sorting, repackaging, and distributing. So it's two things to that. First, it's a good place if you're looking to move here and you don't have a job yet.
Okay.
It's a good place to start. And then secondly, if you live in the area, guess how much stuff we're going to get same day and next day. It's going to be like so much better.
It's coming.
So that's the way I look at this too. So the current governor,
all we do is win,
was competing with Maryland and North Carolina for the project, and it ended up being here. And I think it makes sense because it's more in the middle.
Okay.
And there's such a large metropolitan area here that I'm sure we buy a lot. So I think it made a lot of sense. So they said they're going to create 500 jobs.
Okay.
And it says Amazon currently has 27,000 employees in Virginia. That does not include the 25,000 jobs that are going to be at HQ2. I always say that wrong.
It's all right, babe. HQ is for headquarters.
And so I took this picture. I took this picture last night, y'all. It says 1 hour and 9 minutes to get to Stafford County, which is only 44 miles away.
Couple of red spots in there you can see as you're going south.
Right.
It's blue, red, yellow, red, blue, red, yellow.
Yeah. So the only time we go down there is like if we go to Publix down there, we leave at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Crack of dawn, and while you're yawning.
And they're trying to get them closer, Ms. Boucher. They are trying to get them closer. They're trying to get one in Loudon. The challenge with Publix and I've researched it, girl.
Okay, babe, what does it say?
They're trying to get them it's about distribution centers because their real estate here is really expensive. So it's about where can they put distribution centers for their goods, because there's certain things that are only at Publix.
Right.
So they're trying to figure out where to get a distribution center so that they can put more Publixes up here.
But they have every other grocery store under the sun up here, though.
We have everything. We literally have everything here. So that's just something else to keep in mind. That's something else to keep in mind.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, good to know there's a Publix in Virginia. There's actually two down that way. There's one. I think there's one in Stafford.
There's one in Stafford, and there's one a little bit closer, or a little bit further. I think it's a little bit closer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
There's another one down there though.
Yeah.
On that same path.
Right. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was the top area codes in DC are all in the suburbs, y'all.
The suburbs.
Yeah, they're all in the suburbs. It's not surprising. I wish I could get this bigger.
We've been in the suburbs for a long time, baby.
I know.
We lived in the city. We went to school in the city. I grew up in the city.
Yep.
I grew up in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta.
Yep.
And we went to Howard. We were living in the city, in D.C. proper. But we've been in the suburbs since then.
Yes. I hope y'all can see this a little bit better.
Yeah, they can probably see it, baby.
I made it a little bit bigger.
They can see it, baby.
So
popular Washington, D.C. area zip codes for purchasing. Right? That's the thing, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely for purchasing.
Okay.
So none of D.C. area zip codes for home buyers are in the district, according to Zillow analysis. They're all in the suburbs.
Okay.
And some even in the exurbs.
Okay, not the exurb, the tertiary markets.
Right. Including one in West Virginia. So yeah, part of West Virginia is part of the DMV. So they tracked which zip codes had the highest number of average website views.
Okay.
In DC Metro. The data shows. What were you gonna say, baby?
I was gonna say they didn't know that West Virginia was in the DMV.
Okay, we got our first cat from West Virginia, and I have to tell you that story. So when Jasmine was about 2 years old, she fell in love with the cat across the hall.
She was 3. Yep.
She was 3. She fell in love with the cat. We lived in an apartment.
Yeah.
And well, hold on, Lynette. What's up, Lynette?
Hey, Lynette.
Thank you, Lynette. That's not what I meant to push.
So you got to label them, baby. You got to label them.
There we go.
Thank you
so much, Lynette, for the super chat. Thank you.
Shout out, Lynette.
So, yeah.
Do you have a question or anything, Lynette?
Yeah. Put your question if you have a question, or you just being appreciative and giving us the love. We love the love.
If you have a specific question, you have a super chat, we go right to you.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
So, when Jasmine was about 3 years old, she fell in love with the cat across the hall.
We telling that story now?
Yeah, we talking about the excerpts.
Okay, go ahead.
And I wanted a cat, but I wanted a certain cat. So we looked, and the cats were all like $600, $700.
You should let me tell the story.
I'm telling this story. So the cat was like $600-700, and Heath was like, "What'd you say?"
I said, "I didn't know we were buying a Great Dane. I thought we were buying a cat."
So I looked and looked and looked, and I found a cat, and the cat was in West Virginia. And what did you say?
West Virginia. We got to go to West Virginia to get a cat.
So we drove to West Virginia.
Oh my gosh.
To get a cat.
I was so concerned. I was like, I've never been to West Virginia before. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna get lost. You know, this is like pre-cell phone, pre-GPS. Right, you got to like break out the paper map and
it was terrible.
Map it out where you're going.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. So that's out there where y'all see Front Royal.
Just on the other side.
That's all that. So back to the zip code and why it matters. The data shows home buyers value the ease of suburban life, cost of living, because it's going to get more expensive inside.
Of course.
So the top zip codes are mostly high-ranked school districts with lower overall cost of living, kind of like what we just showed you compared to the district, right? And another commonality among these popular zip codes is rising in value, right?
Rising property values makes sense.
Exactly, rising property value. Oh, we got another super chat. What? Diamond and hey girl, what's up? Diamond and Lucas. Hey, Nathan Tracy, no comments. Just thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Diamond and Lip Gloss. I love that picture of Dominic Devereaux.
Yes.
If y'all don't know, just check out Dynasty for those of you that are too young.
Bring the flyness. Diamond and Lip Gloss. We always appreciate you. Thanks for being on the show today, no doubt.
So you've got 20. Now write these down, guys, if you're interested. You got 20854, which is Potomac. That's Potomac.
If you're trying to be a housewife.
If you're trying to be, but none of them live in Potomac. So I think one, maybe two. The zip code includes parts of Potomac, Maryland, a wealthy suburb that's recently known for Bravo's Real Housewives of Potomac.
We have a few friends at Potomac.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Typical home value in this area is $1,073,000. Okay, according to Zillow, and it's up 12.8% from last year.
Okay, on the come up.
Yeah, we looked in Potomac. We just thought it was too far.
But the houses were really, really big.
The houses in Potomac are huge. And then they're all in like 2 acres. And so when you start adding all that up, you're like, first of all, do we need 15,000 square feet?
And who gonna cut all this grass?
And who gonna cut all this grass? So it was like a no for us.
Yeah, but they got some nice cribs out there.
They do.
Nice property.
The next one is 20152. This area falls in Loudoun County, which has recently received national attention for its role in this month's Virginia elections.
It has, yes.
So it just received because they just zeroed in on it. But Loudoun County still did not vote for the current governor, just so you know. It's not one of those places that it's got like little edges to it. And they try to focus in on that. It is not true. If you move to, we have people that, we know people that live in Loudoun County.
Absolutely.
And it is a wonderful place to live. The typical home value in that area is $720,000. That's a 16.1 increase over last year. So everything is still going up in this area.
It's going up.
The third one is 20851.
Rockville.
This zip code covers part of Rockville and North Bethesda. And we have friends that live over there.
Yeah, Montgomery County.
It's in Montgomery County.
Yep.
And it is the most populous county in Maryland. That's where Potomac is too.
Potomac is also Montgomery County.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that makes sense.
So the typical home value in that area, check this out, y'all, is $468,000.
Wow.
And it's increased almost 10% over last year.
Wow, look at that.
And the other one is 20905, another one in Montgomery County.
Okay.
And the typical home value in this area is $594,000. It's 11% increase over the last year. Okay.
It's on the way up.
All right, let's see. A little further out, when you talk about Harper's Ferry, that blue in the top area, 25425.
Harper's Ferry, got it. That is Jefferson County, right? So that's in West Virginia.
Yep.
Look at that. Wow. So, typical home value is in the area of $304,415, which is a whopping 31.4% increase over the last year. Oh my gosh. So what's the intrigue with West Virginia, right? You may feel like that might be a little bit too far out there.
It's too far,
but people do live out there and travel back and forth to DC for
every single day. And even earlier this month,
there was a Congressman, David McKinley, wrote a letter to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and he asked him to prioritize funding for the MARC train. Like, yo, I live out here, man. We need to get this MARC train game up.
So a lot of people have moved out there. So now they're like, we need to get the MARC train going out here.
Let's get it out here.
Exactly.
We need to go from the crib to DC and back. I need that train. Thank you.
Exactly.
Mr. Buttigieg.
So that's what's going on in the top area codes for the DMV. Here we go, y'all. I'm going to change these buttons on it one day.
Why are you going to change the buttons?
I'm going to change the buttons.
Wow. I just started to use the buttons.
So Russell said, good morning, y'all.
What's up, Russ?
What's up, Russell?
What's up, Russ? Hey, shout out to Russ. Appreciate your service. We had the Veterans Day this week, right?
Thank you so much, sir.
Shout out to my man, Russell.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Lynette says, good morning. Here live for the first time since binge watching over the last week. Woo-hoo. I really enjoy your content and perspective on DMV living. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynette.
Thank you, Lynette. And she says, husband and I are ready to make a run from NYC.
Okay.
And this, you'll love it here because one, it's not that far from New York City.
Yep.
And patiently awaiting lot feasibility report to build in Brock Hall subdivision.
Okay.
Ooh. Did I miss your video on Upper Marlboro? Did we do Upper Marlboro?
We've done so many, baby.
Okay, so I have to go back and look, I'm in the process of organizing, and I've got my editor clipping everything, Lynette. So give it another couple weeks or so, and you'll be able to actually search by like Upper Marlboro once you get to our channel and everything.
Put Lynette's comment back up there for a second.
Yes, sir.
Please. I want to call out a couple things here. Lynette said, husband, I love that.
Okay, I'll work on that one.
I
might steal that, Lynette.
That is dope.
I do love that.
That's some dope terminology right there. So shout out to Lynette for that. The other thing I wanted to say to Lynette was, one of the things that I rediscovered when we moved back here is just the proximity and the whole area of the Northeastern Corridor, and it's so accessible, right? And so even when you're living in DC, I mean, jump on the Excella and you're in New York in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right. If you need to get to Jersey, Philly, Delaware, I mean, everything is so accessible, right? For my folks that like have the North Carolina roots, you can jump on the train and be in North Carolina in 4 or 5 hours.
It's such a cool area to live in.
So just from that perspective, it's just really cool, and I think that you'll continue to be able to enjoy that Northeastern Corridor as well as all the things that DMV has to offer. So shout out to you. I look forward to how your transition goes.
The other thing is that it's not that you're not going to get that country vibe feeling, if you were to move to North Carolina. You're going to have more of a still grab the city if you want to, but not be so much NYC.
Yeah.
It's a nice medium. It's a nice medium. I think you'll enjoy that.
Yes.
Let's see. Good morning, Bucket 88.
What's up, Bucket?
Good morning.
In the building. Welcome back.
Share
Regular
the
to
truth.
the show.
Hi, question. I just got approved for an apartment in DC.
Good for you, Cher.
1 to 2 blocks off Woodley Park and Adams Morgan Metro. Ooh.
Nice.
I'm super excited, but I was told the Southwest waterfront area is nice too.
It is dope.
What area is better?
Wow. Look, okay, so one of the things I always tell people is like...
You did great.
Yes, you did great. One of the things I always tell people, Cher, is that it really is it's more about you and the life that you are creating, right? And so that's one of the reasons why Tracy and I call this Design Your Life.
Right.
Because, one area is always going to have pros over another area, but there are also going to be cons to that, right? And so it really is about what's most important to you. What are you doing? Where are you working? Where do you live? Where do you have loved ones? Where are your friends? What are you going to be doing during the course of the day? How do you want to create your commute, your private life, your nightlife, all of these things come into play with respect to where you live, right? Do you have a car? Do you not want a car? How are you navigating? How close do you need to be to Metro and such? Do you get into Uber and Lyft? Do you not, right? And so all of these kinds of things are what Trace and I advocate that you think about in the spirit of designing the life that you want. And so while there's a lot of attributes of being like having the water views and being in the Southwest waterfront and the Navy Yard area and all of those places is beautiful. Some of the properties over there are newer, right? But if that takes you further away from where you need to be or where you want to be or where your job is or where your family is, or maybe it takes you out of your affordability zone or whatever it is that's most important to you, how you're setting up your budget, right? So all of these are the kinds of questions that you want to ask and do that. But, so in comparison, it's not always an apples to apples comparison.
Exactly.
But shout out to you. There's a beautiful area that you're moving into.
Right. I think the other thing to keep in mind is it's different. When I think of Woodley Park, Adams Morgan, I used to live in that area, and it's really close to the 16th Street corridor too. It's more neighborhood feel over there to me. Yep. You've got the zoo not too far away. You have more homes in that area, single family homes. You've got great access. It's just a really cool area to live in Northwest. To me, the waterfront is more high vibe, tourist.
Yeah.
A lot going on every
weekend. More commercial.
It's a lot more commercial, and it's not a neighborhood feel to me. It just depends on what you like and how you feel. That's what I like about the Woodley Park, Adams Morgan area. You still have tons of services. I'm not so sure about the services close to the wharf. It's nice. You're near the monument. You can go for a run very easily through the monument area over there. But groceries are going to have to constantly be delivered, or and then parking is an issue when people want to come visit you. You're not going to have those issues in Adams Morgan, Woodley Park area. So think about it like that. I think you made a great choice. You can figure it out later if you want more of the high life, so to speak. You could move down to the wharf.
Yeah. You can always make adjustments, right? You stay in your place a year or two, and you kind of get a vibe of the city or the different areas, and you can always adjust from there.
Right.
So good for you.
So she says she works remote. I like more art, poetry, music, coffee shops. I do have a car I'm bringing, but I barely will go into the office. So I think Woodley Park, Adams Morgan area is perfect. You're going to love Adams Morgan. I lived in Adams Morgan for a little while too when I was in college, and I loved living over there, and that was 30 years ago. So I can imagine what the neighborhood is like now. They are starting to shut down part of those streets and just keep them open for people walking, and you can eat outside almost every restaurant in the DC area. So I think you're really going to enjoy that area. If that's your vibe, I think you're in the right place. They have like off-brand coffee shops and things like that. My kids only do those. They don't do the major ones. And we don't do coffee shops like that, but because we used to own one, and it just kind of brings back trauma. So
trauma.
It does. It brings back trauma when I'm in like an independent, small, vibey coffee shop. It brings trauma because I owned one for 4 years, and it was traumatic.
So you prefer the more commercial ones? Is that what you're saying?
I'm the higher ones.
Yeah, the higher end ones.
Yeah, the higher end ones. And they have those too. Yeah, so I think you made a great choice.
Good job,
congratulations.
Good
congratulations. Job, and Ms. Bacha.
What's up, Ms. Bacha?
Go ahead, read our question, babe.
As I begin my transition to move to Northern Virginia from Georgia, my home state, can you give me an idea of what cities in Northern Virginia are similar to Atlanta or the Stone Mountain area? Very interesting question, Ms. Bacha.
That's a good question, Ms. Bacha.
Well, since your man Heath is a native of Atlanta, and I went to Howard, and I live in the DMV now, I am extremely qualified to answer your question. So put a question back up for me, my love.
Yes.
So, Ms. Bacha, I think that there are some differences in Atlanta and DC from the perspective of
comparing them.
Yeah, there's a certain level of sophistication I think that we have in the DMV that's a little bit different from Atlanta, right? I think that
it's in pockets in Atlanta, whereas here it's kind of like everywhere.
Right, but I will say that parts of Maryland are similar to, or give me a vibe of Stone Mountain, right? Just because some of them are. In terms of diversity and that kind of thing, right? It's a little browner in some parts of Maryland that are close to the DC, close to the DC proper. So I just wanted to call that out. I think as it relates to Northern Virginia, I love where we live now in Arlington. Lots of parts of Alexandria and other parts of our Fairfax County will give you kind of a vibe of Atlanta, right? It's like you're in a typical suburb that's close to downtown or close to Buckhead or that kind of thing. And
I would say Woodbridge is probably closer to Stone Mountain.
Woodbridge, yep.
It's a little bit further, but they have absolutely everything out there. Because when I think of Stone Mountain, I think the fact that they have everything out there. And to me, Woodbridge is going to give you the value that Stone Mountain gives you. It's going to give you the proximity, kind of like Stone Mountain, because it's like far, but it's close. And it's going to give you the services like Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
And it's the diversity also is very equivalent. So I would look at Woodbridge and the surrounding area. I think Heath has coworkers that live in Stafford.
I got coworkers live everywhere, baby.
Right, but I'm saying down that way.
Down that way.
And what I like about the area is the diversity, the proximity to the city. Yep. You're not in the city, but you're still in the metro area.
Right.
You can still get to the metro area. They have the VRE, the Virginia Railway Express. They don't have metro.
Right.
So keep that in mind. And you would be car dependent, very much like Stone Mountain.
You live in Georgia, so you
right.
a car.
But I'm just saying.
Everybody in Atlanta got a car.
Yeah.
And they all on the road at the same time.
And that's the other thing that's going to be similar. Okay.
That's a little joke right there.
I know, baby.
Let me say one other thing to Ms. Basha as it relates to like if you're in Midtown or Buckhead, right? That's like being in DC proper, right? And so to Trace's earlier point, Buckhead might feel somewhat like maybe the waterfront, the wharf, or the Navy Yard, where you have a lot of bustle, a lot of things happening, a lot of restaurants and those kinds of things. What's different, of course, is that you have the water element where you don't have that in the middle of Atlanta. So that's one thing. But there's so many pockets in DC proper that are kind of Midtown-ish, Buckhead-ish like.
Right.
That, the city is just super dope in that way. And then, as you want to pull out maybe a little more suburban like, right? And so if it's, Alpharetta or some suburbs in Cobb or Gwinnett, then that's sort of the equivalent of kind of where Tracy and I are, right? In Arlington, Alexandria, some of the suburbs that are close to the city but just outside of the city, then you'll see some similarities there.
I would look at Stone Mountain, too, with the exception of the diversity. I think it's only about 10% of people that look like us.
Look at Stone Mountain. What are you saying?
Comparing Loudoun County to Stone Mountain.
Loudoun County? Okay, what were you saying about Loudoun County?
They don't look like Stone Mountain, whereas Woodbridge looks more like Stone Mountain. But Loudoun County is going to give you the big house, all the services, proximity to this area. They are going to be a little bit better as far as transportation. You've got 66 that goes out there. You've got different ways to come into town, whereas if you go south, you'll have the VRE.
Yep.
So I would look at Woodbridge, which is kind of Stafford. What would you we'll pass. It's before Stafford, but it's I would look on the outskirts of Fairfax County.
Okay.
So take a map of Fairfax County and just kind of skim the outskirts of Fairfax County.
Yeah.
And that'll be equivalent to like a Stone Mountain.
All right. Hope we got your question answered there, Ms. Bacha.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the question.
Yes. What else you got, baby?
Okay. Let's talk about DC rents are up, especially on the high end.
The rent is too doggone high.
The rent is too doggone high.
Y'all remember that dude that ran for office in New Jersey at that time?
Yeah.
And that was his mantra for
that
the
was his
campaign?
That was his mantra. So apartment rents in D.C. Metro plunged in 2020 because everybody was leaving, right? Because vacancy rates soared. Everybody ran to the hills, so to speak.
People like, oh.
So, but of those same people are coming back.
Yep.
So when you talk about moving to DC now, you're competing with so many people. I hear it's happening in all the larger cities. People are moving back.
Yep.
So the rents have doubled or tripled because basically they're trying to get their money that they lost last year. So commercial real estate firm Delta Associates, this is where we got this graph from, reports average rents for all apartment classes in the third quarter in DC were up 7.6%. From last year, y'all.
Wow.
Okay, so all the nice buildings, basically.
Yeah, so they call them Class A, right? So for Class A properties or higher end, amenity-rich buildings, average rents are up 9.1%, right?
Wow.
Many of those Class A properties are all the new buildings that have come on the market in very recent years.
And they are beautiful here, just so you know. Beautiful buildings.
And, of course, the well-paid renters, they want and can afford those amenities,
They
right?
can, yeah.
But, the panorama, it changed some things, right? But now the idea of moving into a brand new apartment that nobody's lived in
people
before.
People are into that.
It has its appeal, right? Kind of like moving into a house that nobody's ever.
Right.
Like, no, I want a new house. I want a new house. Same thing with the apartments, right?
Exactly.
So DC region's hottest apartment market based on demand and how quickly apartment buildings lease up tend to be where the new construction has been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the Washington area, the area is near the Capitol Riverfront.
Yep, what we just talked about.
The Southwest Waterfront.
That we just talked about.
That part of the city, as well as the area that they call NOMA.
So it's called NOMA for Northern Massachusetts Avenue, 8th Street corridor. Everything new is over there.
And in Northern Virginia, the Roslyn-Boston corridor is very hot.
Right across from Georgetown. And it's easy to get. We live closest to Boston.
Yeah, so Roslyn is right across from Georgetown, and where we are in Arlington is right down from Boston.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Tyson's. I knew Tyson's was going to go up.
Oh, yeah, because Tyson's was sleeping.
Yeah, Tyson's.
The sleeping giant over
It was
there.
a sleeping giant. Just a few months ago when we did Tyson's Corner, it was low. But now it's crazy over there. And they said that the prices are up 16.6% from a year ago. Just a year, guys.
The other thing I noticed about Tyson is that the buildings are taller out there, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the height restrictions and that kind of thing. And there's a lot of construction happening out there, too. It's so many scaffolds when you go around there. They've got Wegmans. They've got Whole Foods. They've got the mall. They've got, they've got Tiffany and Neiman's and Saks and Bloomie's. They got everything. The hottest market in Northern Virginia right now is Tyson's, where Class A rents in the third quarter were up 16.6% from a year ago.
And that's one of those places that you're in town and out of town, too. It's right above McLean. And so Tyson's about 15 minutes from us. So and that's where we go when we want to shop and stuff. Everybody shops at Tyson's, no matter where they live. They live in PG County, they shop at Tyson's. If they live in Woodbridge, they shop at Tyson's. If they live in Potomac, they shop at Tyson's. It's just that kind of place.
Yeah.
So the thing that you're looking at here is, let's see. So 15%, 11.5 in Northern Virginia, right? 6.5, it's up in Maryland. So Maryland still is not going up as much as the district in Northern Virginia. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking for that high-end property.
Yep.
Let's see what else they've got here. Stabilized vacancy rates. I know this is like really, really nitty-gritty information.
This is like kind of real estate, real estate commercial centric lens,
but
like looking at it at a high level. But what we want you to do is be able to kind of synthesize this information and apply it to your particular situation.
Right. So what you want to do is keep in mind that it's going to be highest in Virginia still. So Virginia is the highest, then DC, then Maryland. Yep. So Maryland is still going to be probably your best bet as far as
affordability.
That's right.
Boom. We hope y'all enjoyed that information.
And Ms. Boss just said, thank you. Very helpful. I'll go back and watch your video on Woodbridge.
Yeah, check that out, Ms. Boss. There's probably a few nuggets in there, no doubt.
Probably. Probably.
Should we help the people design their lives?
Yeah, let's do it right now.
Who wants to be happier? How about 7 home habits that are scientifically proven to make you happier? Are you with it? Do you want to get into it? Well, let's do it.
Something's going on.
What's going on, baby? What's going on?
Okay.
You fix it?
Yeah, that is all right.
Queen Tracy, the super producer.
Oh, you know what? There we go.
You got the transition?
No, it's not transition. It's just what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
So, I think it's important to figure out how to be happy. I look at so many people that are not happy, right? And if you're trying to figure out little habits you can do to make yourself happier every day, then we are going to start.
And one of the things that happened,
That was the mail. Sorry.
One of the things that Tracy and I, one of the reasons that Tracy and I named our podcast Joyfully Married After was because that when you have a state of happiness that happens every day, that is like the overarching theme of your life, it really refers to joy.
Ooh, it's permanent.
And so, we've been married for 31 years, and the majority of our time as married people has been joyful.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Right? And so from that perspective, I think that when you begin to do these things and they become habit forming and sort of a part of you, you'll notice that happiness kind of evolves into you just being a joyful person.
Yeah,
so,
seek joy.
Yeah.
Seek joy, not so much happiness.
So if you're going to design your life, and you take some of this data, this information that Tracy and I shared, and also just understand that part of it is mindset, right? So we always have kind of a mindset component to our show because we want you to be joyful and enjoy this beautiful life that you're designing.
Yeah, there's so much out here that's trying to bring you down. When you start watching this stuff, move away from it. Move away from it, right?
Yes.
So with a few changes to your routine, even in your house,
Yes.
you might find yourself feeling more joyful, right? Remind yourself to smile.
Got to smile.
That's the first one. Remind yourself to smile.
Look, let me give you a little anecdotal story on smiling, right?
Okay.
If you're like me and you're like in the sales space, one of the things I learned in sales was that you put a mirror on your desk.
It is.
And when you're what we call smiling and dialing, or when you're engaged with customers that you need to reach out to, is a difficult job, right? Because they don't know you, they're not expecting your call, and you get a lot of no's, and you get some people who are disgruntled and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But what you want people to do is to be able to hear your smile.
Yep.
And so one of the tricks to that is that you put a mirror in front of you, and as you're making the phone call, you start smiling. And so now when you answer the phone, when they answer the phone, hey, this is Heath, right? The saying is that enthusiasm is infectious.
Yeah, it releases dopamine, serotonin, endorphins.
All of that.
So it relaxes you. It makes you feel happier. It lowers your blood pressure, your heart rate.
Yeah.
So it does a lot of good for you.
So the point I wanted to make there was that smiling is sort of in the vein of faking it until you're making it.
Okay.
And if you're not happy, start smiling and see what happens.
Do something selfless. This is what I do. I do this a lot. Greater good, community, people you live with, your relatives. It's going to really, really push you to improve your kindness toward others.
Yeah, community volunteerism.
So, yeah, when you do something selfless, researchers have found that kindness improves the way we perceive one another, and that you do something spontaneously to help others. It changes your whole attitude, the way people are moving towards you. So the next time you see your neighbor struggling with something, go help them. When I see when you see the older ladies, y'all ever see the older ladies like just out and about, but their hair is like perfectly coiffed. It's like you can tell they just left the shop and it's perfect. I always say something to them. One, I don't go to the hairdresser, so I get it, and I get the whole time involved with that. But you're older, you're like in your 80s and you're 70s, you're still getting your hair done like that. Just people just needing help with something. Do it spontaneously, and you're definitely going to bring more happiness to your life.
We were at we were at Costco, I think, some months back, and the woman had all of the stuff that she was trying to get into her car.
Yeah, and she was by herself.
She was by herself, right?
An older woman. She probably was in her 60s or 70s.
Yeah. So I stopped and I looked at you, and you were like, "You gonna help her, babe?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help her." And then there was another brother who was standing next to her.
So she had two brothers helping.
And he was standing there, and I got out. He was like, "You gonna get it, man?" He's like,
"Yep."
And so it's just, and you could see the woman was just so appreciative of, like, man, look at these people with some home training.
Exactly.
Out here, just being selfless.
But how did it make you feel?
It was great, right? Because the saying is that it's better to give than to receive, right? And so I was full, just being able to help the woman load some things in her car, and whatever she was doing, taking it to church, or she was going to do some cooking or something for her family or whatever she was doing. I just thought it was really dope.
Right.
So I felt great about it.
The next one is make a social connection. So I think it's important that we have conversations with strangers. Try to get to know new people. Go to networking events. Have a chatting conversation with the person making your coffee.
Yeah.
Or bringing you your food. Don't just have it transactional anymore. It's very important in these times to try to connect with other people, whether you know them or not. And actually having a conversation, striking up a connection with someone. My husband is super good at this. He's so good at this.
What, talking to strangers?
Yeah.
I never met a stranger.
Never met a stranger. And they love him. Another one is to call someone you love.
Yeah. I mean, that's just calling someone in general is a lost art, right? And just getting on the phone saying, well, my sister sent me a note the other day. She was like, call us sometime. So it was like,
oh, Lord.
This weekend I need to call my sister and check on her and see how she's doing. But yeah, I mean, when you make those connections using the phone, you know, you're gonna get kind of a mutual beneficial thing that's so dope, right?
My girlfriend is she was in New York City last night doing something professional, having to be there for work or for her agent or whatever. And she sent me a picture of her sitting in some cool bar drinking this cool drink. And she said, wish you were here. And it just warms your heart. It's an interaction. And we did a quick interaction of why she was in New York.
Yeah.
She said, you would love this cool bar I'm sitting in. She didn't post it, y'all. It's not about posting it on social media to connect to people.
Not every time.
Not every time. She sent it to me.
Right.
And to connect with me. And I appreciated it so much. I was able to send her love, give her energy. She said she was tired. She was doing work, and the time change. We did a little back and forth. I said, "Girl, I'm already in the bed," and she was like, "Ooh, And so it just really, really gives you a lot of happiness.
Right. Maintaining
those close relationships with people. I said, "Hey, we got to make sure we get together over the holidays." So it just really, really pulls it together for you.
Yeah.
The next one is
practice gratitude.
This is a big one. You need to do this every morning.
The attitude of gratitude is so important, right? I think that, when you are more conscious about just being thankful, I saw yesterday, Deion Sanders had like a 4-minute post on social where he was talking about, this wheelchair that he's in right now. And the kind of the physical challenges that he's going through. And the theme of his post was, but God, I thank you.
He's still grateful.
And that's so important, right? Regardless of where you are in your life, highs, lows, in betweens. I think the attitude of gratitude can really impact your life from the perspective of, well, what are the things that you can be thankful for, right? And so one of the things I do with my flowers is just being thankful, right?
We're saying thank you to you all.
The natural beauty, the natural things that are bestowed upon you, how you can share those things, and just the attitude of gratitude is so powerful.
Yeah, if you're not doing it actively now in your life, it's a great time to start. This one, get some exercise. I'm going to tell y'all what my new exercise is, and I might film myself just for a short so you can see what I'm doing, but it's rebounding. I am addicted.
Yeah, we're not talking about basketball, though.
No. It's rebounding. It's getting a mini trampoline. I have a mini trampoline in my bedroom, and sometimes I just go over there and I just jump on it. I jump on it. I try to do like 100 or 150 or 200 jumps. I do different little moves, weights in my hands, it reminds me of jumping on the bed when I was a little girl, and it just gives me this thing. That's my exercise. I usually swim, but with COVID, it's just really gotten me off of
the panorama.
The panorama. I'm sorry. It really has gotten me off of my move. Yeah. So, and then, little things like that. Sometimes the pool's open, sometimes the pool's closed. I ain't got time for that. So I had to find something. So I'm rebounding. So check it out. It does great things for you. I feel stronger.
Yep.
When I lift things, I'm like, oh, that was easy and stuff like that. So getting some exercise is going to make you feel high.
Yeah.
It's going to give you that real jump.
And when I find myself, feeling like a little in the malaise and I'm not, some stuff is a little off, I'm like, I need to go run. I need to go walk. I need to go do a little quick hit exercise or something. And I always feel better.
Laugh more often, y'all. Laugh more often.
Y'all see how much Queen Tracy and I laugh on this show?
We laugh. It's the best medicine. Sometimes I sit down when I'm feeling kind of weird and I go on Netflix or I go on and I find people to laugh at or laugh with. And humorous videos, watching shows, it's going to change. It's a stress hormone that it gets rid of. Laughter is going to enhance your ability as well to stay healthy longer. So make sure you set aside time to laugh and read and stuff like that.
There used to be America's Home Videos.
Yeah, he loves ridiculousness. He will watch ridiculousness for hours, and then he get the whole family. I'll be in the bed,
oh my gosh,
and all the kids, and he will be down here laughing, looking at ridiculousness.
The kids turn me on to it,
right?
So, but yeah, I think just laughing is so powerful, and I think one of the first poems I learned in 6th grade, the first line was "Laugh, and the world laughs with you."
I love it.
Weep, and you weep alone.
Yep, I love it. So. Just to recap really, really quickly.
How to be happier. We're going to give it to you again.
How to be happier. 7. Remind yourself to smile.
Do something selfless.
Make a social connection.
Call someone you love.
Practice gratitude.
get some exercise,
laugh more often.
Boom.
All right. Let's get back to the questions.
Let's see what we got.
All right. Lynette again. Hi, Lynette.
Hey, Lynette.
Go ahead, babe.
Do you find families flocking to PG County for the purpose of cultivating their children's basketball skills?
Wow. I have heard that. Why are you laughing?
I just thought the question was just so,
it's so direct, isn't it?
Yes. So Lynette, I mean, I think.
Yes.
I don't know if it has anything to do with where you live specifically. I mean, if that's some kind of trend, if that's some kind of trend in PG County, it probably is so.
She said her college girlfriend is considering moving to Hyattsville with her teenage son for this reason.
But I think if you zoom out, right, just zooming out, that's a trend throughout the country.
It is.
Right? I mean, that AAU basketball, I mean, is serious.
It's in all sports, too.
Everybody is really trying to do what they can do to get their kids these college scholarships and to get them in the right place, in the right position. The coach is going to give them the playing time so they can continue to improve, so they can get a look at the NBA. Right. And so that's kind of the dream. But, of course, we all know that 1% of those kids is what makes it to the NBA. And I think that so really depending on your goal, right, the end result, as we say in corporate, working backward from the end result.
They're working backwards.
And so the idea is that if the goal is to get your kid a scholarship, there are lots of other things that you can do. Hey, the golf scholarships are going unclaimed.
Yep.
There are other things that you can do with respect to getting scholarships to college outside of basketball. So that's number one. Number two is that.
But I could see Prince George's County and that area, as well as that side of D.C. being a reason to move here for basketball. But you can also do Georgia. You can do North Carolina. It's just I see people doing that. Yes, the answer is yes.
Because a lot of it has to do with the coach.
The coach,
right? The AAU coach is more powerful than the coach at the high school.
It is.
And so these travel things and this basketball situation and all these things. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff. And additionally, clicking into that is now you have this image and likeness thing that's happening from a college perspective,
where they can get paid.
And so some of these kids are generating followings in high school.
Right.
Where there's like this one
through social media
that is a senior in high school, and so he's got 5 million people following him on social. And so now that he's about to get to the place where he might have to choose between colleges, like kind of one of those one and done kids who goes to college for 1 year and then to the NBA. One of the things that he's already teed up is like $1 million contracts from his image and likeness component going into college. And so that's just an example of some of the things that are happening. And so I can see why parents are pushing their kids in that way and making those decisions.
Yeah, Maryland does have a lot of basketball history and legacy.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that. We're different kind of parents, so that's why he laughs, because it's hard for us to relate. We've seen the trappings of it, like firsthand. Through friends of ours, through ourselves, and everything. So I think if that's what she wants, I think it's a good move. But make sure she understands that it's not always.
I came out of a party one time, Lynette, when I was at Howard. I came out of the party in Georgetown. It was Georgetown starting five, all standing there. It was Lynn Bias, and they were just chopping it up, right?
I told y'all my Georgetown story.
Talking to the girls, and we've been around it for a long time.
I remember where I was the morning I found out Lynn Bias had transitioned.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was crazy. Okay, Lamika. Hi, Lamika. We've been living in the city for a little over 3 months now.
Okay, welcome. Welcome.
Yes. You guys were so instrumental to our move.
That's so
thank
nice,
you so much,
Lamika. We appreciate you.
Thank you, and that's why we do it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. It has been interestingly different than living in Miami.
I bet.
I love that description.
Interestingly
Yes.
different.
So it is quite different from Miami. We love Miami. Miami's one of our favorite places. We've been going to Miami for years. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to go to Miami in a couple months. So it is very different from Miami. Professionally, it's very different from Miami. The way people move and the way people talk It's very different from Miami.
It is.
Certain parts of the city have the same diversity as Miami. I think that is what is really cool about living here.
Yep.
But welcome to the city. Welcome to the show.
Good
Thank you so much for the love.
Good to have you. Appreciate the love. Yes.
Yeah, yes. Reality Doll, you made it, girl. We are still live.
Reality
we are
Doll
still live. One of the OGs.
One of the regulars to the show.
Abraham, what's up?
What's up, Abraham?
Abraham's going to join us here in a couple weeks to talk about one of the great places to live in Virginia. So keep it up. Thank you so much, Abraham. Hello, Reality Doll, and good morning from the Walker family. Yes, thank you so much, Lamika. Thank you so much. Well, I think that's the end of our show, guys.
Did we make it?
We made it. Wow. No, we did good.
Wow. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. We know you could be doing so many other things on this beautiful Saturday, wherever you are in the world. We had somebody watching from Africa last week.
Yes, we did.
But hey, don't forget to drop a comment if you have a question. Queen Tracy and I answer all of our questions
Hit the
ourselves.
like button.
Hit the like button. Subscribe, certainly. If you're not subscribed, share the information with people who.
If you got anything out of this.
Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. And join us here again next Saturday at 11 a.m. EST. Tracy and I also have a couple of other shows that we've added. So you'll see us on Monday.
We talk about relationships and being married on Joyfully Married After, and that's on Mondays at 8.
So if that's your thing, you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, and you want to get some improvements, some tips and tricks there, Queen Tracy and I are sharing on Mondays at 8 p.m. now for Joyfully Married After,
that's
where we do a live podcast now. And then on Tuesday, if you're looking to pivot into tech, you want to get some best practices and other things around technology, you're in the tech space, you want to up-level your income, you're looking for new roles and ideas about all of those things, I am here for you. Tuesdays, we have terrific tech talks with Heath and Tracy on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. So, hey, if that's your thing, drop by for that as well.
And Reality Doll, we love you, so we're going to answer this question for you.
Okay, Reality Doll said, this is so off topic, but was your daughter on Ready to Love?
And the answer is no, but she is friends with one of them. She walked in the room, she said, oh, Sydney! I was like, I thought you knew her.
'Cause I'm ready.
So the girl that's joined the show, the young, flashy girl, she knows her. Thank you so much, Miss
We appreciate Miss Bacha. We appreciate you so much.
Great show. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for another great show. Many blessings, speaking it into existence for your promotions. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
We love you all, and we'll see you Monday, Tuesday, or next week.
Peace. 2 fingers.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people. This is the city I met all my best friends, and I wanna thank every brick. I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ike's place while we'd roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoney, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm Xavier, then I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. Where people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion and it's mine.
Hometown, baby, we go way back. All the situations, circumstances, still we don't mind. Steady going on, I dance around the street lights. Hey, I know every street sign, hanging around the block. Like if you are my friend, then you are welcome any moment.